Welcome back to Perfect Shot of Jacks. I'm Russ, your host, and today, as you can tell from the title, got a very interesting video. Probably going to be a little bit controversial, but I really hope that it educates the masses out there and gets them maybe to think a little bit outside of the box when it comes to ceramic coatings. So behind me, I have a Z71 Chevrolet. I think it's a 2018, and 9 weeks ago, it was here, November 14th. To get polished out and ceramic coated. So when it was here, temperatures in about 70, a little bit cooler here in Florida, and it got washed, clayed, chemically deconned, polished out to perfection, and then I ceramic coated it with DPC Prime 9. Now I'm going to get into the DPC lineup here in just a second, but the vehicle stayed in the garage for about a day. I think it rained the day I did it. And then it hung out in Florida for a few more days. The owner did some golfing, and then he took it back up to Pennsylvania. So here we are 9 weeks later, and he brought back his wife's car for me to do the same thing with. So it's been 9 weeks. It has not been washed. Nothing has been done to it. And when he showed up a couple days ago, you could tell the whole vehicle was white with salt. And DPC 9 says that it is really good salt resistance. So in today's video, we're going to wash this up and see what our water behavior is like. And though I haven't done it yet, I have high confidence that it is going to look good. So let me tell you a little bit about my experience with some of the DPC lineup of coatings. And I know this is going to get some hate mail, and that's okay. Just listen to the information, use it. If it works for you, great. If it doesn't work in your world, that's all right too. So let me come around here, and I want to show you some of the DPC coatings that I have been using over the last year. The TMR, the T9, the Prime 72 Plus, Prime 9, Flashback, and a few others. And my experience over the last year with this has been nothing short of phenomenal. Excellent results all the way around. And I want to address for a minute some of the controversy going on with the Cerakote coatings. And you know, some people in various parts of the country are using Cerakote and having excellent results. Others are not having such good results. And that doesn't really surprise me. When you're doing something in a lab, very controlled conditions, things always come out good. And kind of when the reality of life slaps you in the face and Mother Nature takes hold, products don't always work that great. I'm going to tell you a quick story. A couple years ago, I was at training for a professional coating. And during the training, we had polished out and ceramic coated a car with this particular company's coating. And there were 9 professional detailers, all of them with a fair amount of experience. And we polished it and took away all the high spots and looked it over with tent lights for an hour, and this car was perfect. And we were doing it inside an air-conditioned, controlled, professional detailing shop. Next morning rolls around, and we roll that vehicle out, and it was black. And again, the morning we checked it before we rolled it out, absolutely perfect. Rolled the vehicle out into the humidity of Florida, and immediately you could see high spots popping up all around the car that were not there when it was inside the shop. And I think the temperature and humidity factor on all of these coatings plays a much bigger role than we'd like to believe it has. I have seen it over the last 10 years. I've seen it countless times where a coating goes out, everything has been done perfect, goes out the door. I see the car a month or two later, and it is just not performing. And as a professional detailer, that's enough to make you just want to bury your head in the sand and disappear, because you did everything right. And this coating, which you have heard from other detailers around the country, they love it, it does great, but in your corner of the world, it doesn't work. And the temperature humidity factor, I've seen it happen enough that I know it is a big issue. Whether it's with the bonding or the curing of the coating, there's something going on there. I'm not a chemist, so I don't know. Now, Jimbo over at Auto Detailing Podcast, and just heads up, I've never talked to him, never met the guy. I catch some of his work, and you know, while he might be a little rough and abrasive maybe in the way he goes about it, if you just listen to the facts that he's telling you on the coatings and his experience in the industry, it resonates very loudly with me. I have seen and understand what he's saying. And if you haven't maybe been that experimental with a lot of coatings, maybe you don't really see what the rest of us are seeing, and that's okay. But you know, when Cerakote first came out with it, he did not have good results. And I'm sure there were a lot of people hating on him, complaining about what he did, but I think he had a little insight into what was going to happen down the road. And sure enough, it did. And I'm not hating on Cerakote. I love their trim coat for plastics. I think it's great. And I'm not hating on them. They've just they've gotten into the pool and they've had a failure. And I am certain they're going to rectify whatever that is. So this isn't a bash on Cerakote or really any other company. I've used probably 99% of the coatings on the market with varying degrees of success and failures. And I've learned from all of it, and some I don't use anymore, some I occasionally use. But the DPC lineup, I gotta tell you, I'm pretty impressed. I have not had a single issue with any of the coatings. Typically speaking, when I'm applying them, it's hot. It's 90 degrees, 95% humidity, and that's the environment I'm in. So that's the environment my coatings have to work in. Now, when I applied it to the truck behind me, I'm going to bring in, I know I'm getting long-winded here. When I applied it to the truck behind me, it was about 70 degrees, about 80% humidity. Truck was in the shop for a couple of days, applied everything. And when the truck showed up a couple days ago, it was white with salt. And it just come from Pennsylvania. And I'm going to come around here at a little different angle. And you can see as I bring this in here, I think you can see here, all of that salt that is all over this. Salt, road film, just everything that Pennsylvania has been giving this truck. Probably more for the last 4 or 5 weeks. I don't think it was as bad when he first went back. But so we've got a lot of film on here, a lot of salt film, everything that you would expect up north that folks down here in the south, we don't have to deal with all that much. So we're going to do a pre-wash on this. We're going to wash and rinse it really good. But one of the points I wanted to make on this is that when he got here, it was totally white. Night before last, we had a little bit of rain. Nothing crazy, but we had some rain. Just the rain was enough to wash this truck back almost to its normal silver color. So, and the coating is doing what it should do. It should do that. So I'm going to get the pressure washer set up. We're going to foam it up, let it hang there a while. Might foam it a couple times because I do not want to put a mitt to this and start washing it and, you know, scratch up all the excellent paint work I did. So hold on a second. I'm going to go ahead and we're going to get this truck ready. I'm going to try and see if from this angle you can see the residues on the side here or not. Yeah. So fairly well covered. Don't go away. I'm going to get everything set up and we're going to do our test. Okay, so we're going to use the DIY Details Incredible Suds. I think any soap should be able to do this just fine, but we're also going to see just how well that pulls this residue off of here, and I don't really think it's going to be a challenge. So I've got it up in my foam cannon. We're going to foam it up, let it hang as long as possible, maybe foam it twice, and then rinse it because I don't want to scratch the paint. So here we go. Okay, we're going to hang that, let that hang a minute, we'll bring it right back. Okay, so the soap has been on there for 3 minutes, 4 minutes, and starting to sag a bit. So I'm going to go ahead and we're going to do a pre-rinse, and then I'll take a look at it, and if I'm happy with the results, then I'll go ahead and we'll put the wash mitt to it, and we're going to check the hydrophobics out. Okay, as you can see already on this tailgate, the hydrophobics are awesome. Okay, and I haven't even touched it yet, so we'll go ahead and get the rest of this rinsed off. Okay, as you can see, and again, I haven't touched it yet, but we're getting excellent water behavior on the hood here just with rinsing it. Okay, so I'm on the passenger side. I've just foamed it and rinsed it. Have not touched it with the mitt yet, but we're about to. And I wanted to bring you in and try and show you as best I can with that we have. I mean, this is just awesome. All of that film is gone. Bring it back around here to let's see here. I can get in on the same on this tailgate. There is no more salt film on there. I feel really good about putting a mitt to it now. So far, absolutely awesome. Okay, so rinse it off. Everything looks perfect. I cannot see any film on there, so we're gonna go ahead and go in with the contact wash. I'm not gonna foam it up again. I'm gonna just go ahead and take my mitt. I've got the incredible suds in here as well. And I'm just gonna, very casually, very gently come in and wash the truck. I know I'm not getting the roof right now, but for the video, you don't want to go through all that. All right, now if I can get my cameraman just to zoom in on this panel. Okay, you just cannot keep water on it. It's coming right off, and it's exactly what I want to see. Okay, so when I'm not flooding the panel with water. I'm just spraying it on gently. You'll see in all the incredible beads going on with that. When I flood the panel, it is immediately coming right off. Absolutely dry already. Okay, so our pickup truck's all cleaned up, came out beautiful. I was really happy with the results. You know, if I were living up north and dealing with the salt spray and that kind of thing, I'd probably be washing the car maybe with a little more aggressive soap to help, you know, really get it off of there. But the ceramic coating on here did beautiful, and that's just as much a testament to Scott over at DPC making, you know, having these coatings made that actually work, especially in my environment in Florida. And obviously they hold up well when they live outside in Pennsylvania during the winter as well. And again, not a crack on Cerakote or the dozens of other companies out there that are putting together coatings that worked great in the laboratory, but then as they get, you know, distributed out around the country, a lot of guys come up with failures. And for Cerakote, they're able to address that immediately because they're making it. Most of these other companies that are not making it or don't have a chemist or don't really know anything about it, and they're just, you know, I think like Jimbo says at Auto Detailing Podcast, you know, they're just, you know, a chemist calls them up and says, hey, I've got a ceramic coating that'll do this. Are you interested? And they buy it, they put their label on it, and they really couldn't tell you anything else about it in between. And so it's just kind of buyer beware. And, you know, most of us that have been doing this for a long time, we've tried almost every coating out on the market. We realize that there's a big difference in the quality that you get, you know, weeks, months, and years later. So we'll take a quick look around here at the truck. It came out absolutely beautiful, as I anticipated it would. We've got it all dialed in, and I did use my favorite topper on it this time around to help protect it for the rest of the winter, as it's gonna be outside for the majority, if not all, of the winter. And got it dialed in, looking absolutely beautimous, as you would expect. So, okay, if you got some value out of this, you know, made you think a little bit about the products we're buying and who's really making them and how they actually work in your environment where you're at. If you got something out of this, hit the like and subscribe, you know, help me out. Put a comment down there. I'm sure plenty of you guys have tried all these other coatings and they didn't work like advertised. And rather than you think, well, it's just not a good coating, it might have been. It just wasn't in your environment. Didn't work where you're at. So if you got something out of this, like and subscribe. I appreciate it. If you're in the Fernandina Beach, Yulee, Amelia Island, Jacksonville area, and you want to get your vehicle polished back to perfection and looking brand new, right there's the number to call, 904-575-0258. On the web, perfectshotofjacks.com. Thank you so much. Look to see you next time.